Anyway, yeah, so on top of the intro cutscene 0 timing at the beginning, we also have the moat pre-drained, and that's just a consistency decision, as the moat skip is quite a difficult trick. It's quite inconsistent, and thus we've cut it out. And so cutting it out completely would invalidate the run anyway. So this is just for tournament practice, as 50 star with a moat file, as they call it, is not normal for the leaderboards. You would normally do moat skip in the actual run. So that would also save about 30 seconds on it. So if you are going off personal bests or seeding times, which, as I mentioned before, 44 minutes for Liberty, 50 for Skiko, then you'll see that that time is probably going to be a bit different to what we're going to see, possibly. We might see, if Liberty plays at that sort of level again, then we'll see a 42 out of him, or a 41, as there's about 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes there that's not being accounted for. So now that that's out the way, I'd also like to talk about the bracket. So the bracket, we have winners round 2, obviously. Skiko, Liberty, being second seed, has received a bye at the start and hasn't played a match yet, but Skiko has. And Skiko, he triumphed against I Love Potions in the first round and moved on to the second round. And the loser of this match will play the winner of Crumpet versus Ratio Gaming, which will be an exciting match itself, so I'd recommend checking it out. Hello Grain, hello Sloan. These runners need the good luck, I'm sure of it. So, I believe we should be getting into it soon. Hopefully that was explained accurately, at least. So, if anyone, also just as an aside, if anyone has any questions about the game and the run we're witnessing, or just other categories in the game, this is 50 star, this is not the main objective category, which is 80 star, which is similar to 70 star in the original Super Mario 64, although as you will see, this game is quite different, and I believe we are off, as both runners starting close to the same time. So obviously both heading straight into the basement, because the basement stars are quite fast, and thus that's what makes moat skip such a great tool. And we see that forward side flip from both players. It's not very difficult if you have the muscle memory, but trust me, these guys are going to make this look easy. If you actually grab out a copy of the game for yourselves and try and do some of this stuff, and I guarantee you you're not going to do very well. I know I didn't. Anyway, Liberty opting to get the red star first. It doesn't really totally matter the order of the stars that you get here. Skiko with a nice bully kill, and Liberty with a clean reds. We are starting off spick and span today. A small splice from Liberty there. About 3 seconds just frozen in time and space. Gone. How wonderful. Already having a splice. So Lethal Lava Land has a couple fast stars. We'll see Liberty heading into the volcano. I believe we'll be getting both volcano stars here today. I will be checking that. We are actually not. That is a lie. We'll be getting one of them. So here we get in, which is in the volcano, which is what Liberty and Skiko are both getting right now. And when we select star 6, then we'll be able to access the shell, and the shell will allow us to easily get red hot log rolling, and it will make it quite a trivial star, as you'll probably see in a couple seconds. And my bad, I'm already wrong about that. They got star 5. You can actually get either star 5 or 6, but apparently 5 is faster. Alright, so as you can see, Liberty using the shell to get that red hot log rolling star. Skiko will be doing the same. Fumbling a bit on that shell grab. You can see the seeding difference already coming into play here in the minor details. If you look closely, you can see probably smaller refinements in Liberty's movement and general gameplay compared to Skiko. However, Skiko still close behind. just only slightly behind. Actually, I don't think he's actually behind because he hasn't done Reds yet, and Reds is faster than the Bully Star. So we'll see after they collect this 4th star here. Star number 4, who is truly ahead of the game. And I believe Liberty is very slightly ahead, but it is by such a small margin, I would call it completely even at this point. So no major mistakes yet. It seems the runners are still just settling in. Alright, so now we'll be heading to SSL for just a couple quick star grabs. We'll be grabbing Klepto here, where we just have to gut up on this pillar. We have to avoid the sand tornadoes here. Liberty does a great job of that. But Skiko missing the first cycle and getting tornadoed, but he successfully stays on the pillar. It's quite hard to do. It's a bit random as well. Oh, the tornado. He uses it to carry him to the pyramid at least, but obviously a long jump would be more than sufficient in that situation, but definitely not a bad star by any means. That star can go a lot worse than you think. And now after this top of the pyramid star, one of the fastest stars in the game, Liberty using the long jumping off the sand, slide kicking up that slope. Similar to jump kicks in the original Super Mario 64, we have slide kicks, which allow us to get up the slope. Skiko fumbling a tiny bit, but manages to get the ledge grab. He's up. And now we'll see a stage re-entry from Liberty. He's going to exit course, and that will put him straight into the castle foyer, avoiding the opening cutscene with Lakitu and the key. There's actually an extra cutscene there, and that avoids that. So now we will be going into Peach's Slide, and you'll see that the slide room looks quite different to the original game. It's got some key doors there, it's got some other doors everywhere, but obviously the right painting remains the same. And we'll be seeing a slide skip here from Liberty. He's going to hit the wall to face backwards and hit that edge. A perfect slide skip right there. Let's see what he gets. 14.67. Very good, very solid. Skiko with a very decent slide skip as well, just a tiny, says a tad slower. Liberty picking up a couple seconds here and there over Skiko and putting him in what seems like a slight lead. Anyway, now we'll be heading into Sunshine Isles, where we have to collect 5 silver stars, and the movement here isn't difficult, but Klepto over there can be a little bit of a problem, so most runners like to get him out the way first. We'll see the shell strats from Liberty. Looks like Skiko's struggling to get that silver star off of Klepto. Sometimes hard to see with the DS cams. A solid 5 silver stars from Liberty. Skiko just eating his third. So you see the slight difference in strategies between the two runners. Liberty's strategy being only 1 second faster on average. Definitely slightly more optimized, but by no means has any player made any incorrect play so far. It's been pretty solid from both. Although Liberty having a slight lead here, around 12 to 15 seconds here. Entering Goomba stage, where we will be unlocking Mario and using him for the rest of the run. So Liberty was able to maintain his momentum on that jump by using a neutral jump, which is where you do not hold the D-pad or control pad rather. I believe Liberty is a control pad player on 3DS. Control stick for Wii U Virtual Console and D-pad for, well, anyone. But that neutral jump allows you to keep your momentum in the air. If you actually hold forward there, you'll actually slow down. So quite an interesting use of the mechanic right there. We'll be seeing more uses of that mechanic later. And hopefully I'll be smart enough to point them out. So Goomboss is a pretty trivial boss if you know what you're doing, as you can just grab his Goomba friends from behind him, which makes him a pretty trivial boss. Slight oversight by the developers. They wanted you to definitely walk around that stump and grab the Goombas, but No, we are speedrunners. We don't have time for that. Not at all. Alright. So bear with me as I press the wrong button and my computer decides to give up on me for a second. That's bad. Well, I can still see it at least, so... Hold on, what the heck's going on? What have I done? Computer just as dead as Mario with the walk. So now I'll be heading into Womps Fortress. Now Womps Fortress has some very fast stars, so we will be collecting all of them, including the 100 coin star. And that is hopefully, you know, 100 coin on Womps has a lot of room for error, so we'll hope. Here's hoping that the runners can pull it off. Liberty making his way to King Womp. Gonna take him out first. It seems his lead has increased by only a couple of seconds. Skiko slowly but surely falling behind here. Hopefully, he's gonna have to rely on Liberty making a mistake in order to make a comeback. Liberty has very solid movement, and you know, he is just the consistency machine out here. So that will not help. He's gonna have to hope for a major mistake, possibly in Dark World. Or possibly here on top of the fortress, or Womps Hundo. We will see what happens. See what star Liberty goes for here. Probably top of the fortress, it's looking like. And here is a very difficult strat for top of the fortress. Dive, wall jump, ground pound, and he gets it. Nailing the fast fortress strats. Very impressive. Let's see if Skiko is willing to go for the same strategies. Or will he take the simple route? Oh, it seems he messed up his dash there, but he's still going to go for the standstill setup. Arguably a little bit less reliable, and the dive does not do him any favors falling down the fortress. He decides he's going to get the backup, shoot into the wild blue star of shame. How unfortunate. As we can see, Liberty collecting the 100 coin star, and now Skiko definitely behind. We are at different stars in the run in terms of what stars they're doing. So do not be fooled by star count though. Skiko is definitely at least 30 seconds behind now. And looks like he'll be going for top of the fortress again. Liberty having a solid Womps Hundo so far, however, he's not really had the worst of it yet. Skiko again, he gets the neutral dive, which gives him the backwards momentum. And he gets the star. The dive strat is interesting. I don't know if that's on purpose to be a dive reset, or if it's just, well, a dive. But the dive reset is where if you do a frame perfect dive, and then you can do a frame perfect jump afterwards. So it's quite a difficult trick. But people are becoming quite consistent at it, actually. And you can see that the double star spawn there, if you collect a red coin star and the 100 coin at the same time, then you'll get a double star spawn. You'll skip one of the cutscenes. So Liberty making use of that technique to save a little bit of time there. And that's obviously, knowing about that trick is just going to weave it into the route. And it looks like Skiko's a bit, if I can see that coin count correctly, he seems a little bit low. Maybe he must have collected the extra 8 ring. Yes. But there are plenty of coins in Womps Fortress. There are so many backups. And here we see a successful bike cycle from Skiko. Very good performance. Here comes the Owlus from Liberty. Just a triple jump dive over and you've made it. Trust me, that owl hitbox is not very forgiving. It's harder than it looks. Possibly a motorcycle. We don't know. Yes. Appropriately named. The most common cycle in Once Fortress Hundo is appropriately named bike cycle. However, also Skiko not getting the double star spawn. And a solid wild blue from Liberty. He's only got 2 stars left, and that should be shoot into the blast away the wall and what's it called? The Once Fortress switch star. Switch star of the fortress. And I believe Skiko is officially a star behind. We'll see here. Yeah, he has not done the owl star. And he elects to go for blast away the wall first. And we see a first try pause clip from Skiko. Very nice, very clean. And you can see it's faster not to go in the back in the cannon for this star. You can just wall jump and grab that star. Now cannonless, not a possibility in this game, unfortunately, as the star does not actually exist before the wall is blasted away. However, we have plenty of cool tricks to make up for the lack of such things as cannonless. So don't you guys worry, because you're about to see some crazy stuff, probably. Hopefully. So here's the switch star. There are many switch stars around the game. You press a switch, star spawns. Most timers are quite generous. And here comes an Owless from Skiko. And he's successful. But because of that top of the fortress mishap, he is a star behind. Liberty will be heading now to the other PSS star, it should be. Yes. So Liberty's going to clean up some of the castle secret stars and then head into Dark World. Dark World is not for the purpose of the first key, as we do not need the first key, as we've been able to unlock the basement from the moat that has already been drained. And as a result, or technically as a result of moat skip, and as a result of that, we do not need the first key, so they'll be collecting the switch star in Dark World and also the red coin star. And that will be all. We'll be exiting course afterwards, as there is no more need for stars. So Liberty will be entering the question mark switch stage. Grabbing those red coins. Flying is quite the difficult task in this game. So we'll see if Liberty fumbles here, but I doubt he will. Trust me, we've had many hours of practice on this star. Many of us have. Many good runs turned into bad runs from this star as well. But Liberty with a solid red coins. And it looks like Liberty's time is still going, but his gameplay has suddenly frozen. Am I witnessing a splice right now? I mean, he was already ahead. I mean, I'd say it was quite unnecessary for a splice, but I mean, you do you, I guess. Liberty. As Skiko finishes up his second PSS star for the for regular, not less than 21 seconds. You get an extra star for less than 21 seconds since the 2. Liberty opening his video editing software, Adobe Premiere Pro 2018 edition, that he got off of uTorrent and the Pirate Bay. It seems Liberty is unknown of his star count currently and his current position. It seems he is splicing a good Dark World in order to impress the fans. Skiko now officially ahead of Liberty. However, Liberty pulling off a brilliant splicing operation that has gone for about a minute now. We will see where he ends up when he comes back, if he comes back. Skiko now entering Dark World. Yes, I believe Liberty is splicing on quite a good Dark World. It must be really spicy in order for it to constitute a splice. Here comes Skiko entering Dark World. The only gameplay that is currently watchable, unfortunately. Unfortunately, both races are not currently well racing. It would very much suck if Liberty has to perform some manual operations and sacrifice some of the race in order to get his capture set up to be back in order, but let's hope that doesn't have to happen, as we would not want to compromise the races and their times in order to bring the footage to the fans. Liberty crumbling and tumbling here as he tries to figure out how to cut and paste in Adobe Premiere Pro. It's taken him around 2 minutes now. It's not looking good. See Skiko finishing off that red coin star, and will now be going to get the switch star. Let's see if he makes... It seems he will be making use of the neutral jump. He restarted stream. It's the organizer's responsibility for SpeedGaming to get the stream back in order. So let's hopefully that happens soon. Alright, Skiko entering Cool Mountain here. And it seems he will be going for CCM switch clip. Quite a difficult trick, although I believe there is a relatively new setup that makes it quite easy. And it seems the timer stopped. And there's the dive. And he's got the switch star. So a successful CCM switch from Skiko. The old setup is quite the difficult, but it seems that the new setup is looking good. Looking snazzy. And here's an unconventional little penguin's lost. Stopped a little bit early there. And it seems the penguin is not having a bad case of blindness today. Gone to Specsavers, got some glasses, sees that the child is there, and successfully awards Skiko the star. Sometimes that penguin can be quite pesky, quite petty, doesn't even recognize its own child there. But this time, luckily for Skiko, he's having a jolly good time with the penguin. And now he'll be getting Mario's super wall kick. So just a double wall jump up, and that is clean. Perfection from Skiko. Liberty. Still figuring out how to cut up the footage. Possibly converting the audio into a different format, as maybe the editor didn't support that. You know, you need to make sure there's no audio holes in your successful splices. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back and he's in the end credits already. Alright, BBH Reds. These boos in the courtyard drop 8 red coins that can use to be collect a star, but they are quite the nuisance in some cases. It looks like Skiko not having too many problems. Oh, it would be much better if Skiko killed the big boo before grabbing that star, because now he has to wait for the animation before actually doing something. So a bit of an inoptimization on his part. But so far Skiko is having quite a good race. He's not made any major mistakes so far. We'll see about Liberty when he comes back, hopefully. It seems the timer has stopped for quite some time as well. Let's hope this... Oh, Skiko messing up on those books. You need to hit the middle book first and then the right book. Gotta hit those in the correct order. Hit the right book first and got absolutely belted. You know, that literature, it hurts. Get some paper cut. You know, it's nothing more insulting than getting slapped with a book. So here we save an exit on purpose after that star, as we'll be wanting to head back to the main foyer, if you will, or the front yard. And here we go. A pause clip into the secret under the moat. Skiko struggling to unpause his game. What's going on there? It seems his touchscreen is broke. What is going on? That is not good. He's going to need that for camera control and also menu options. Seems his touchscreen has decided to give up on him. Maybe Skiko should learn to take a lesson out of Liberty's book and splice himself a new 3DS. Because this isn't looking good. It seems his touchscreen is broken in mid-race, and he needs the touchscreen in order to press that continue button. How will he solve this issue? It seems the continue button is not working. Liberty, his splice is complete, and he is in Hazy Maze Cave. And it seems he's still going strong. Picking up that amazing emergency exit star, and we'll be heading now to, I believe, either Lethal Lava Land again, or yes, I believe Skiko should be able to press the start button actually, while Jeff, with the big brain strats, pressing the start button in order to continue. It may or may not work. I would recommend grabbing a brick at this point. Maybe smashing that brick in, teach that 3DS a lesson. It seems... Well, what's happened here? It seems he got the save and exit off correctly, so closing the software won't be such a bad thing, as the save file will still be there. Skiko reopening his game. This is quite a race, my friends. Skiko having technological hardware issues during the race. And that has lost him a solid amount of time. Liberty firmly in the lead now. Skiko about, I think, like 3 stars behind. This isn't looking the best for him. But he's back. I'm hoping his touchscreen works now. And there's the pause clip. And his touchscreen isn't working still. No. What is going on? Skiko having the most, probably one of the most stressful moments of his life, witnessed live to many people. A secondary restart is apparently required. This is not looking good. I'm gonna love talking to these guys after the race. Oh, this is a difficult lesson to learn, but Skiko's 3DS will teach it to you. Oh, quite unfortunate. Skiko, maybe before he goes for that pause clip, may want to check that his touchscreen is working, and it seems it is working. Skiko solving the technological issues, but he needs to get this pause clip, and he gets it. And now comes the big catch-up. Can he pull it off? Liberty is going to have to make some big mistakes in order for Skiko to pull off a comeback in this situation. The lesson here is that technology sucks. And it's gonna ruin your speedrun. You know, as I said, a difficult lesson to learn, but Skiko's 3DS is teaching it to him, and it's teaching to him the hard way, giving him plenty of homework. Homework just because I hate homework. I'm sure everyone does. There isn't some philosophical life lesson, but just a lesson. An unfortunate lesson. And Liberty, I mean, I can't really sugarcoat it. Because of this technological issue, he is firmly ahead. Grabbing the final, not the final star, of DDD. He still needs to get the sub-star, which is one of the slowest stars in the game, but is required because you must unlock Fire Sea. There are technically ways around that, but they are not done in this speedrun. You can search for those in categories that use fewer stars, such as 8 stars, for example. Or not 8 star, I think 12 star maybe. Or you could just do second key door skip, as Bobby has said. Skiko, you know, the mental, part of this game is not just the physical game, pressing the right buttons at the right times, but also the mental game. And I'm sure Skiko's mental game right now is not looking so hot. And that's going to affect the physical game, as was just proven there. Oh, he didn't catch that platform cycle. Usually you can catch that fast enough not to get burned, but unfortunately the lethal lava absolutely destroying him there. And it seems he's also having a problem on the bullies. Now the big bully. Pretty good shot there, honestly. He made good of a bad situation. So props to Skiko there. That was quite a good recovery. Meanwhile, Liberty streaking ahead in Fire C. Doesn't even need a dive to get that second red. Usually I dive there because I'm, well, bad. So fourth red coin off screen there. Skiko sort of in Fire C, but, Fire C but aim lower. Or higher, depending on your opinions. Oh, Liberty missing the first cycle of Fire C. That platform's going to come back down. He's not going to make it up. Oh, it looks like he's going to be going... Well, he needs that red coin, so he's going to have to wait there. That's the problem with just jumping up, because you need that red, and he misses it, but manages to get it with a side flip. Liberty not having the best time in Fire C, but no major mistakes so far. Getting burned on that pylon. And burning on the lava. He is dead! Liberty taking a death in Fire C, and a slow one at that. A lot of time lost. Skiko, part of the pieces of the puzzle that he needs for the epic comeback. Liberty, probably not happy with that death either. Both players, I presume, are shaking in their boots right now. We do not have confirmation whether Liberty knows about the technological issues that Skiko has experienced, and thus how far behind he is. But Liberty is still plenty ahead. I would agree with that, Bobby. It is quite the bad place to die. This time, Liberty showing off an exemplary first cycle in comparison to his previous attempt, which ended in death. But now it seems his Fire C has once again solidified, and he will be grabbing the red coin and the switch star here. While Skiko grabs the Manta Ray star. I've been focusing a lot on Liberty, as Fire C is quite the difficult stage. Meanwhile, Dia Doc's quite a tame stage, and it seems Skiko has no sort of hitbox troubles with the Manta there, at least. Liberty, he's done a good job on the splicing. It took him a while to figure out how to use that editing software, but he spliced on a good Dark World. We didn't get to see it, his splice, unfortunately. His spliced gameplay. As you know, now that gameplay is lost, kind of the point of a splice there. But it seems like he lost no time to configuring technological issues. But the unexpected slap in the face in terms of technological issues for Skiko, in contrast, nobody could have expected that. I hope his touchscreen continues to work throughout the run. If I was him, I'd be personally giving it a test drive every now and then. Every couple of seconds, just tap the camera button, make sure it's still working. There is no more saves and quits in this run. So if the save file is lost, then that's tough luck. He's gonna have to restart from getting the secret under the moat, and then he's definitely out of this race. But I wouldn't count him out just yet. And there's the side sub from Skiko. Very nice. Liberty, meanwhile, heading upstairs into Wet Dry World. Upstairs has a lot of quick stars, but still a lot that can go wrong. So we'll see what happens. Another one of the quickest stars in the game other than atop the pyramid and shifting sandland. Just take the teleporter. And actually missing the box, but actually didn't fall off the platform there. So no time loss from Liberty, but there could have been bad. We can see slight falterings. It's possible that Skiko could make a comeback if he has a successful first cycle in this fire seat and then play solidly for the rest of the race, but he will have to rely on a mistake from Liberty. There's no way around that. No matter how solidly he plays at this point, his touchscreen issues have put him too far behind. Liberty will have to make a major mistake, another major mistake, in order for Skiko to make the comeback. Oh, getting burned there, but still a solid fire C, a solid first cycle. Liberty finishing up wet drywalled with this last star. I believe there's only one more. So you gotta let that platform come down. And then some wall jumps up to get the star. Should be quite simple. And there it is. Currently in terms of star count, Skiko should be 3 stars behind, but he still has to beat Bowser. And there's a lot of quick stars in the upstairs portion. So let's hope that Skiko has a good Bowser fight. And let's hope for his sake that Liberty, he's got to make a mistake at this point. It's too late in the run in order for Skiko to make a solid, just play solidly enough to make a comeback. Liberty definitely has to die in the cave here or something. But we'll see what happens. Liberty is quite the consistent player, though we did see some falterings in Fire C. That can't be good. Can't be a good sign for him. However, he does successfully get that switch star. That double jump dive can be a little finicky at times. Alright, Skiko just grabbing the second key, will be heading upstairs soon, but he is a full stage and a bit behind. It's not looking good for him. Meanwhile, Liberty getting one of the hardest stars in THI out the way. But do not count Skiko out just yet. Liberty, there is a lot that can go wrong in the late game. And it is upstairs that determines the weak, who is a player and who is a punk. So, the weak and the strong. So far, Liberty is looking pretty strong and upstairs, unfortunately for Skiko. But we will see. We don't know it yet, but impending doom possibly approaches. A bonk on the painting there. Is it foreshadowing? We will find out. So here, the Chuckier can be quite the problem, so we'll see what happens to Liberty here. Chuckier being nice to him today. Nice Chuckiers on this fine... Is it Wednesday? I don't even know. Let me just check the date real quick. It is Wednesday. Don't worry, guys. I do know the day. I am quite okay. Skiko kicking the wall there, but missing that dive, going all the way down. Restarting that star from the start. Quite a time loss. There's the side flip wall jump. As should be done originally. Don't know what he was going for exactly. Maybe he missed that setup. Oh, Liberty, an accidental file save on the Toad select. It seems he's having minor falterings, but other than that Fire C, which hasn't been enough to put Skiko in a possibly winning position yet, nothing major has occurred. Although that jump looked quite late, but he still managed to make it. Sacrificing that jump distance with a perfect angle, Liberty pulls it out. Skiko finishing up wet drywalled here. Let's see. Yep, he's finished wet drywalled. He'll be heading to tiny, huge island right now. I was considering saying THR, tiny island, kind of stuttered my T there. I was like, ta ta ta. Red coins for Liberty. Now, the reds are interesting because you kind of need to make a blind jump towards the mushroom where the star spawns. So that could be a possible mess up from Liberty. Also, his movement not looking the most solid, fumbling a little bit. It looks like Liberty's having very slight fumbles, and it looks like he grabs the star successfully. Jealousy seeps through my veins, as I've lost many runs to that very star, that very mushroom. I do have a vendetta, personal vendetta against it. I will not lie about that. Skiko opting for a safe triple jump to the switch star, and still doesn't get the ground pound first try. It's okay though. Still very solid racing from both players, though we are seeing minor falterings from both, and thus the lead that Liberty has still remains consistent. A nice jump on that slope. I personally would have started slide kicking there. I wouldn't have thought to do a jump dive there. Very smart from Liberty. He's clearly practiced that movement a lot. Only 4 stars to go, and then the end of the game. Meanwhile, Skiko, around after this star, should be around 4 stars behind. So about 4.5. Although Snowman's Land, many quick stars here. So first is a pause clip. Let's see if he gets second try. Yep. The first try is always difficult on that one for some reason. And so a quick cannon shot up to the Snowman's head makes for 1 easy star. The pause clipping coming in clutch, honestly, for these races. Pause clipping is where you they do a backflip ground pound because it sets your vertical speed to a certain range of values that allows for the pause clip to occur. Because pausing actually removes the hitbox on some objects for like a couple frames, I believe. I think Skiko has had solid pause clips, although he's tried to pause clip sometimes, and you know what happened after that. He couldn't. Yes, it's interesting. While you're in the air in a level, there's something very interesting about pause clipping. That specific pause clip into the secret under the moat, and that's that pause clip requires a menu button on the touchscreen in order to close the pause menu. But that pause menu only comes up when you're actually standing on the ground. But it also comes up all the time while you're in the castle grounds. When you're in a normal level and you're in the air, the pause menu can be quickly unpaused by the flick of the select button. So, unfortunately, we don't have sort of any button cams, we just have the DS cams, but that is something that you'll see if you watch other runners. You'll see also notable trick here, the mirror clip from Liberty. It seems he's lost the angle. He's trying to get it back, but he messes up. He's going to have to set that up again, aiming his camera towards that specific spot in the wall. Then he's going to use this camera edging technique by holding L and pressing the camera buttons. And it seems he cannot get the pause clip. Sorry, not the pause clip, the mirror clip. What you need to do, it's actually quite difficult to get the clip. You do need to jump and hold up and actually let go of up for a couple frames, and he does get it there. Fun fact, the one thing that I have contributed to this game is a mirror clip setup that nobody uses and is completely useless. So yeah, pretty proud of that one, personally. Just like to point that out, that nobody's using my setup, and I'm spiteful. Anyway, Liberty with 50 stars, we'll be heading into the 50-star door, and we will be seeing the endless stair skip. And it looks like Skiko will be going for Skiko Kicks, his signature trick. For Scale the Mountain, he'll be going for quite a different strategy that is thousands of times more difficult. Here we go, the double wall jump, triple wall jump, backwards dive, insanity from Skiko. I told you he was a trickster. Absolute god. And it seems Liberty, it's hard to see. He's using the touchscreen right now to navigate, but it seems he has had a successful endless stair skip, and he's trying to find the portal now. It seems he's found it, and he is in. Liberty is in bits. Meanwhile, Skiko is just entering Snowman's Land quite a bit behind, mostly because of his tech issues, and it seems Bobby may be right. The pause clips aren't doing him any favors. The fourth try, meanwhile, Liberty streaking through Dark World. Sorry, not Dark World. Bowser in the sky right now. My bad. Need to fact check my knowledge there. It seems. But a successful. So that skip, that endless stair skip, and Liberty decides to give the rotating platform a little kick and a little nudge, and he's fallen all the way down at death in bits. I mean, you know, that platform, and also Skiko, meanwhile, not having any better of a time, getting bullied by the ice bully. Not having a fun time, not enjoying himself. Finally kills him. Liberty dying again. Liberty not having a fun time in bits today. Wasting about a minute and a half, but Skiko not doing himself any favors either. He's not doing too hot. And Skiko accidentally saving the file out of SL. Something that Liberty did on that secondary toad. Liberty falling down again. I don't know why he decided to kick that platform. I mean, what did that platform do to him, you know what I mean? Anyway, making use of that slide kicking up slope technique once again. You know, that's not usually a place where you'd want to kick. Liberty making his way up. Getting off that pole is actually quite the difficulty. It's going to be jumping up to the higher platform, rotating the camera. He decides not to go for the long jump. You can long jump off the corner straight to the platform. Skiko getting a successful mirror clip. I did not see the full finesse of that mirror clip, admittedly. However, it must have been fast considering how he just got out of that style, although Liberty is fighting Bowser. 3 hits and Bowser is down. Struggling to get around him, actually. There we go. That's one grab. And believe me, if it's one thing that our speedrunners of this game have practiced the most, it is the Bowser throws. But Bowser throws seem to still be a difficulty that plagues even the top runners, Liberty missing his second throw, although it manages to set him up, and he still misses. Bowser not falling off the edge, though. He gets the second grab. Skiko is over the wall for his ESS, endless stair skip. That is the second hit for Liberty. Skiko using his touchscreen in order to navigate. He's actually showing the camera that. And it seems... Oh, Liberty barely missing the third throw. The third throw is basically the nail in the coffin, unless you're me and you die afterwards. Yeah, we forget about that. We don't talk about that. Liberty missing once again. Cannot kill Bowser. Skiko is in bits. And Liberty on the cusp of victory, but just cannot close it out. Can he do it? This is his third try. Third time's a charm. And there it is. Liberty, once he grabs the big star, will be the winner of this race. Ah, what a race. Skiko having many technological issues relating to his touchscreen, which put him very far behind. And Skiko, yeah, doing the speed punches. Doing a backwards dive, trying to get the ledge grab. Going for the finesse and style. He knows the race is over, surely. I told you, Skiko was a trickster, but unfortunately, his touchscreen disagrees, deciding to cock block him in the most epic of fashion. And Liberty pulls off the win. My god. There's only one race that I've ever seen that has been worse than this, and that's when they played a bingo instead of an actual race. And that depressed me, and it still depresses me to this day. However, this is a close second. Touchscreen issues. Wow. We'll wait till Skiko finishes off his run, and then hopefully we can get both runners into the commentary booth for a post-game discussion, because I do believe that this performance from both players deserves a post-game discussion, 100%. Skiko now entering Bowser. Possibly arguable, may I say, that Skiko could have won if he had not had touchscreen issues. Please elaborate, Bobby Bob, when you say that behind the scenes, they let each other disable a certain technical aspect of their setup. I'd like you to elaborate on that because I am not in the loop, clearly. But unfortunate for Skiko. It seems he will get... Oh, barely missing that second throw. I thought that was going to hit. The hitbox, a lot less generous in this game compared to the original. And he is standing on a falling platform, so he might want to get off of that. Skiko making his second throw here. Missing the first. The first of his second throws, not the first throw. Just to... Skiko chose to delete Liberty's Streamlabs, and Liberty deleted some kind of important part in Skiko's DS. It would seem that way. And Skiko missing his third throw. Cannot close out the run, similar to Liberty. You know, it always scares me when I see someone on their third throw and they miss it like 3 times, and then the other person enters bits, and it's just kind of like, there's an upset about to happen. Skiko missing again. He just cannot close it out. Quite unfortunate for him. Alright, surely he gets it. There it is. And that is the end of the race. Well, it ended when Liberty won, but hey, we gotta have both runs finish, unless the other one doesn't want to, of course. Anyway, hopefully we can get both runners in on this call to discuss the games. I do have a couple questions for both of them, but I do believe Liberty is not in this server, though Skiko is, so he can definitely join the commentary booth if he wishes. So that was a very interesting race. We had to start late because Skiko had some issues with his phone, and then we had the issues with his touchscreen. Liberty, Skiko, putting up the all seems good emote. You know, he might be content with the outcome. Apparently, we are getting links for both runners to join the chat. We'll have to wait till that happens. But in the meantime, what a race. we had Liberty with the splicing and the sabotaging, the saboteur, if you will, of Skiko's technological aspects, trying to cancel the restream by preventing Skiko from streaming at all, the preemptive strike, and then the strike mid-run. Seems like Liberty is very well versed in technology. Otherwise, I mean, how would he be pulling off these tricks? Let's ask him, hopefully, when he comes in. I'm very curious to know what kind of editing software he used for the splice, and also how he managed to sabotage Skiko's DS. Very cool. So we'll see here, and I believe both runners have joined the chat. Hello?
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going, guys? Talk to me.
It's
I'm pretty
been a
good.
weird 46 minutes. 46 minutes, 50 seconds. It's been weird.
Oh, I forgot to set my stopwatch. Like, cause, I started it when I started early, but I forgot to reset it, so I don't know what my time was.
Okay, so I believe I have a couple questions. First of all, Liberty, pulling off some crazy technological interruptions.
Okay, so
So-
what happened was I was using Droid Cam. It just shut off on me, and I had to put it back on. I was doing it while I was playing, so I didn't die during that time. Just weird stuff.
So we just have to take your word for it that you played
Yeah.
solidly throughout that 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And Skiko, I gotta ask, man, how do you feel about the touchscreen malfunction?
I don't even know what to say. Like, that's never happened before, and the fact that it happened 2 times in a row, just like, I wasn't even mad about it. I just found it really funny.
It was quite the entertainment. I mean, as I said before, it is arguable that Skiko could have won if the touchscreen hadn't done that. Although, maybe we're free to speculate. We're free to speculate. Although I believe you both played very well. We had a mishap in Fire Sea, and that was about your only major mistake, Liberty. So the Bowser stages giving you some trouble.
I swear, when I died twice, I was like,
Oh,
this
you
is
died
happening again.
twice.
This is happening. This happened in every single tournament match I've ever done.
I'm surprised that Fire Sea went well for me. Like I almost messed it up really bad because after you step on that switch to activate the switch star, and then I tried long jumping into it, but I was just my angle was like just a little bit off, so I long jumped like past it, and I almost like fell off the stage. But Mario does that thing where if you land and go off a ledge, he's still in the jumping state, so I did a midair jump back onto the ledge to save myself.
I did not see that. I believe I was watching Liberty's screen because
When there
he
was
must-
mirror clip, I was running that as well because I'm not.
yeah,
consistent
you
at
might have
all.
been. Wouldn't have been Mirror Clip, but Mirror Clip was interesting. Skiko, yours was clean, right? Because I did not see that either, unfortunately. So I
Wait,
could not
what part?
comment. Your Mirror Clip.
Oh yeah, I think I got it on my second long jump.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
So-
so not too many major mistakes, just two major deaths, and then some technological mishaps on the other side.
I just have to accept that dying in Bowser in the Sky is my signature move. Nothing else. Not even like
At
a
this
good thing.
point, I'd have to agree to an extent.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Hopefully you can pull out some more consistency in general with the Bowser stages in your further run through the winners bracket. So, quick side note, because of the results of this, Liberty will be going on to face third seed Bobby Bob. That should be a good match in winners round 3.
Yeah,
And Skiko, yeah. And Skiko will face the winner of Crumpet versus Ratio Gaming. And that should also be an interesting match in itself. So we got a lot of interesting matches coming up, so I suggest to everyone watching that they should check them out, because hopefully this run wasn't your first impression of this game and this category, because we had some issues on both sides there. But no, I'd say still a very good performance under the pressure. And that's good that you were able, for Skiko, you were able to laugh that off and just continue normally.
Yeah, I'm happy about that also, because usually when I mess up when playing this game, I tend to get like, not like super mad, I do get like frustrated, but I was happy that I was able to just like have fun with it.
Yeah, that's really good. And that's the attitude that everyone should have when that kind of thing happens during a race. So that's very admirable in my opinion. But despite the major errors in the Bowser stages, Liberty still took the win. Arguably because of the touchscreen errors, but we're free to speculate. As I'll just leave it at we're free to speculate. Okay, I'm not gonna form an opinion.
I feel like that was partly my own fault, because I forgot that I saved the game, which I'm not used to doing, so I didn't think of like quitting out to the home menu because my file was saved. And so like I went into the tournament chat in the Mario 64 DS Discord, and I'm like, my game crashed. And then Bobby just said, you can quit out if you already saved.
Yeah, it's lucky that happened right after you actually save the one save and quit in the run. So at least that's a small consolation. The fact that that if it was gonna happen at all, it happened at the perfect time.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna happen again in Snowman's Land when you pause clip through the cannon.
Yeah, that would have been sad, but like, you know, it didn't, and we got through it. So, GG's to both runners, and unless there's anything more you want to say, I guess we'll finish this up because there isn't much more that I want to say about anything. I think you both played very well, and unless you guys want to say anything, that's about it.
I have nothing to
Um,
say.
yeah, I think that's it.
Anyway, alright. So all good. So everyone watching, please check out Skiko and Liberty. They are both very good runners of this game. And we'll be seeing them both later in the tournament in very exciting matches coming up. Especially the Liberty versus Bobby one. That one's gonna be good. Second seed versus third seed. It should be a fun one. So yeah, I believe that will be all. I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to finish this up. But yes, please check out their channels. Please check out Super Mario 64 DS in general. It's a good game, very entertaining to watch, hopefully. And you know, this was a race for the ages, honestly. Because of, you know, what happened. So I believe that will be all. Thank you all for watching. I'm Typhoon. I'm honored that I got to bring you the commentary for today. I hope it was of a good quality, and I hope that everyone watching gets to check out more Super Mario 64 DS in the future. And I'll see you all later.
Theo.